Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since we've produced a video. A little bit on the, well, before I talk about that, a little bit on the backdrop of the channel changing names. Initially, a few years ago when I started doing this, it was MTG Jank Science. That was kind of inspired by my play group that was kind of gelling at the time, and it's still together today, by the way. But we were playing Modern and Pioneer, so I wanted to play decks, on the channel that I was trying to discover stuff, and especially in Pioneer, so it was a brand new format. So I was trying to brew there and play whatever I could there, and then with Modern, trying to also brew up decks, but at the same time playing some decks that were around that seemed interesting, or interesting cards and so forth. And so that first experiment with the channel original name, MTG Jank Science, I was playing in leagues, so brewing and playing in leagues is pretty rough sometimes. So eventually I thought, well, I'll have to play more competitive decks, because you don't want to just be if your brews aren't cutting it, which a lot of times they don't, depending on how you're brewing your decks or whatever. And so, but anyway, I just thought, let's try something different. So I changed the name of the channel to MTG Spike Science to try to be a little more competitive. And I remember around that time frame, I had played in a paper RCQ, and then I think I played in a couple Mana Trader events, and I tried to play a lot more tier decks on my channel and tried to be a little more competitive or whatever. So it kind of had a mix of both, but over time I eventually stopped making videos. There wasn't any real one reason at the time, but I did after I stopped that, because making the videos it's just a lot of time, a lot of work, whatever. But I stopped that, and then I started drafting a lot on Arena. And I do like draft still, especially cube, but I like draft because, and just a normal draft, because a couple things is, the gameplay's fun because it's like creature focused combat, but also that you don't have to play against any degenerate type decks. There's no messed up combos and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like good honest Magic. So I do like it for that perspective. That being said, recently I've made a change to my my approach to Magic, because over the last I kind of became disillusioned, I guess, better word with Magic. So over the last year or two, I kind of stopped playing as much. I was still drafting and a little bit, but I kind of transitioned over to computer role-playing games. So I played Baldur's Gate 3, which was pretty epic. Then I played a game called Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, which I thought was really cool, very fun game. And then I played Divinity Original Sin 2, which also is a great game. So I really enjoyed those games for a while, and I'm going to probably keep playing those games going forward, because those have kind of scratched an itch for me, since I'm kind of an old-time Dungeons & Dragons player from way back in the day. But Magic wasn't quite getting it, mostly because so from the drafting side, you see all the new cards, and if you want to be good at draft, you have to really put in some time to understand what are the archetypes, what are the key cards, what do they do, trying to understand all the cards and all the text and all the multiple paragraphs and the the double-faced cards and all the complexity that the game has nowadays. I mean, there's so much complexity and the power creep. So that alone is hard enough to manage and deal with, to try to draft intelligently and be good at it. As a matter of fact, there's so much information, and I was listening to 5 hours of limited resources, getting the full breakdown of cards at Marshall and LSV or whatever. And so it just became just too much. There was just so much going on. And then on top of that, the deluge of sets. We're up to 7 sets a year. And it is just overkill, overwhelming, trying to keep up with it all. And I think the final straw for me was when I saw the 2026 outlook when they had their conference last year, and they put the sets up there, and there was 4 Universes Beyond sets and 3 in-universes sets for 2026. And I'll admit it, I'm kind of a UB hater. Like, I love comic books. That's where my original inspiration for anything fantasy related started when I was a kid, was reading comic books. So I love Spider-Man and Avengers and all that stuff, but I don't want them in the Magic game. I just don't like that. And especially some of the, Spider-Man is pretty bad as it is, but a lot of the other crap that they put in there, I just don't care for it. And, in one way I feel like it's kind of the analogy of the frog boiling in water. A few years ago, Wizards had introduced, I think The Walking Dead might have been the first thing. I'm not sure about that, but I think it might have been. And then there was other ones that came along here and there, kind of like, oh, this is just a secret lair, or this is Transformers or whatever, and oh, this is just Commander only product. This Doctor Who or whatever it might be. And I was like, well, I guess that's okay for Commander players. I don't play Commander, so maybe that's whatever. Just keep them out of the main sets. And then, of course, last year at their conference, they're like, oh, well, we're just going to make it all Universes Beyond. It's going to be all standard legal and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, my gosh, talk about selling out. And I understand they're a business. They got to make money. I get it. But for me personally, as an old school player from the 90s, I had a buddy that had a game store back then, and it was just great fun to go up there and discover the cards were new and amazing. We're opening packs. We're just playing our decks, having fun, playing in tournaments up there. It was great back then. And it's just lost that flavor, and the pre-modern thing has scratched the itch for me and re-inspired me to create my channel again and play decks here, because there's a sense of nostalgia. There's a sense of this being, just cards I remember from back in the day, and it's a simpler gameplay. So it's not so simple that it doesn't have complexity in the lines of interaction and the battlefield and the interactions of the cards and your strategy, and all that stuff is still intact, and there's still plenty of complexity when it gets going. But the cards themselves are simpler, And I just prefer that. I mean, the game's gotten too complicated, in my humble opinion. So, and I've played some pre-modern to try to get familiar with the cards and have some idea of the metagame. I've been following it closely on Reddit and watching some videos online. And I've played probably 100 games maybe of pre-modern. So just to try to get as much info as I can, and to have some familiarity. And so if I was to start making videos, I don't want to be like, oh, what's this card do or whatever. So I'll have some familiarity. There's still going to be cards out there that I'm probably not sure of or whatever, but because it's for being a closed format, it's pretty vast. There's room for brewing. There's room for tier 2 and tier 3 decks to spike up and take down a tournament or whatever. So that makes it an exciting place for me. I know the closed format pool doesn't appeal to everybody, and I totally get that, but for me it appeals to me, and I really like it. And the format's been very popular lately. It's been surging in popularity, and I can tell there's a lot of other people out there that feel the same way I do. I just have had enough of the Universes Beyond crap. I can't stand it. So that's my focus, is to play some pre-modern. I've been having a lot of fun with it, so I'm gonna, like I said, been kind of inspired to put videos back up. So there's probably a lot more I could say on the whole thing. Real quickly, so back to the original, the name change. I did change the name of my channel to Diabolic Machine because one thing I noticed when I was producing videos and so forth, and had changed the name of the channel twice, I noticed that other content creators, they have like one name they're known for. That's everywhere. You see the same name everywhere. You know who it is. And so I thought, well, I mean, my MTGO handle is Diabolic Machine. Arena it handles Diabolic Machine. Discord Diabolic Machine. So I thought, well, I should name my YouTube channel Diabolic Machine. So anyway, that's why I changed that finally to that. I took down all my videos because Magic is kind of as you know, it's an evolving game. There's always new sets coming out. You got to keep up with the new cards. Decks change and evolve. There's power creep and that kind of thing. So videos kind of age out, I guess you could say, relatively quickly in the world of Magic. Now with Premodern, it's a little different because it's a closed card pool, and so the decks are in some way kind of eternal. I mean, who knows what the future holds? Maybe Wizards of the Coast will come in and ruin this format too. Perhaps. I hope not, but for now it's great, and I am wanting to strike while the iron's hot. So that's what brings us here today. So that's just kind of a brief story of what's been going on. I know it's been several years, but like I said, I am inspired. I'm going to try to put out a video a week. I do have a full-time job, so I can't do this all the time, but it is fun for me. I really enjoy it, and I've been enjoying the format. So that was a little bit of a long-winded intro, but since I haven't produced a video in a couple years, I thought I would just take a few minutes to talk through that. And so now let's get to the deck tech. So my idea after seeing Premodern and being inspired by it was to kind of have what I wanted to do with the channel was kind of say, let's explore the mtgdecks.net space. So that particular site, in my opinion, is the best site for getting a full picture of the metagame. Goldfish has their picture of the metagame, which is kind of a smaller sampling of decks and tournaments than MTG Decks, which is much more expansive, including it's just got there's things from Italy and this top four, paper in France or whatever. So I think that's really cool that it just pulls all that together and paper and online and a lot of sources to get, in my opinion, a better picture of the metagame. So and given that there's so many more decks on mtgdecks.net, and like I said, I mean, there's Goldfish, there's MTG Top 8, there's probably other sites out there with good information. If you guys know some other ones, please put them in the comments. I like mtgdecks.net because it's got pretty much everything I'm looking for in that one space. So because it's so vast and there's so many decks and it's so deep, I figured that if we explore the space, that would be kind of a fun thing to do. So the concept here is to explore mtgdecks.net. So these are decks that have been played. As you can see, this one is called Premodern Mono White Aggro Deck by Mark Dahman. And for some reason, it's only got 59 cards. I don't know why that is. I will correct that before we get into the games. I should have looked at that before I started the video, but I've tried recording this video a few times now. I'm going to try to make this the final cut. So whatever that final card is, we'll figure that out, and I'll update this before I start playing. But anyway, let's talk through this deck here. So this is just a very simple aggro deck. I think that I just kind of feel like it's a good place to start. Instead of getting too complicated, we're just going to kind of start with a turn 'em sideways type deck. That's another thing about Premodern I really like, is the fact that it's a diversified and healthy metagame. It's got aggro decks, it's got control decks, it's got mid-range decks, it's got prison style, it's got combo. I mean, it's just got a nice mix and a healthy, vibrant metagame, in my opinion. So that really appeals to me too. For this particular aggro deck, and again, I'm not sure why this 59 kind of bugs me, but like I said, I'll figure that out later before we start the games. But we have 22 lands. We got 4 copies of Brushland. So in Premodern, one thing that you'll notice is that the mana bases are not like just super perfect where you can just get the mana whatever you want. Like in Modern, you've got all 8 fetch lands and all the shock lands. Premodern only has the allied colors fetch lands, so only one one half of them, and then it's got the pain lands. So that's the kind of, you have to kind of earn your earn your mana. And there's a lot more basics. So this particular deck's got 4 Brushland, 4 Windswept Heath, which is just going to fetch up the basics. There's only 1 forest because the only green card in here is Rancor, and then also Wax. So that should be sufficient to cast the green. We have 4 Brushlands, and then the 1 forest we can search up with any of the Windswept Heath. And then there's 4 copies of Wasteland, which is a very common card in this format. So that's the mana base. The 1-drop slot, talked about Rancor, great card. It's an enchantment that gives the creature +2/+0 and trample. When it's put in the graveyard, returns to owner's hand, so you can always get that back. There's 1 copy of Weathered Wayfarer that can go get a land. You can pay a white, tap this to search your library for a land card. And key thing here is land card, not basic land. Land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if an opponent controls more lands than you. So there's only 1 of these. It's not a huge part of it, but it can do its job. 4 copies of Swords to Plowshare for removal. 4 Savannah Lions, so no Ragavans here. Got the OG 1 mana 2/1 right here, Savannah Lions. 4 copies of Mother of Runes to protect the creatures. And then over here we have 4 copies of Silver Knight. Silver Knight is first strike protection from red. My assumption is that wherever this deck was played, and I didn't look that up, so I've grabbed a sampling of different decks I want to play on the channel. But for this one here, it's protection from red. It's not using White Knight, but it's Silver Knight. So it's probably because the burn deck is very, very prominent, very highly represented in the metagame. So I think it makes more sense to play these. But anyway, that's what we have there is 4 Silver Knights. And then you also have Soltari Monks, which is protection from black. So the card choice here, again, not really sure, but that's kind of the part of the reason why we're exploring here. So they do have some protection from black creatures because there are a lot of mono black decks too. So I can see why. Kind of diversifying it, so diversifying the protection. But these are 2/1 shadows, protection from black. Very simple cards. Then we have. Let's see, sorry. There's just 1 Soltari Monk. Then there's 4 Soltari Priests, which are protection from red. Shadow 2/1. Same line where we have more protection from red because that's more represented, but there are some black decks out there. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have like a few other protection from black creatures in the sideboard, but I'm sure this sideboard is based on whatever meta that they were in, but we're still going to just use it the stock list and see where we go with it. Next is 2 copies of True Believer. It's just a 2 mana 2/2, and it just says you have Shroud. So your creatures have some protection, and then there's a couple dudes to give you protection from, like burn. Again, it can protect from other things, duress, whatever. So that's a pretty neat little card. Next is Whip Quarter, which is a 2 mana 2/2. You can also play it as a morph creature, 3 mana 2/2, and then you can pay 1 white to morph it, to turn it face up. And it performs a helpful ability to tap a creature, especially in an aggro deck when you're trying to get in the last few points. You can tap their best blocker and get in there. So that's mostly what this card's function is. Next we have Wax and Wane. It's a split card. So the first side is that target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So that's our other pump up besides Rancor. And then the other side is to destroy target enchantment. And then we have Exalted Angels, which is a 6 mana 4/5 flying, which is basically lifelink, but it's an older card, so it's worded differently. Even though I think they had lifelink cards before that, right? Was it Spirit Link? Maybe it was worded the same way. Anyway, the older cards, it's worded this way. It says whenever this creature deals damage, you gain that much life. Yeah, I guess that is the way Spirit Link was written. So it might have been before the lifelink term. Anyway, that's basically what it is. And it's also morph, so you can pay 4 instead of 6 to put it down as a 3 mana 2/2. Or sorry, you can pay 3 instead of 6 to get it down earlier on the battlefield as a 3 mana 2/2. Then you can pay 4 to morph it up. In the end, you're paying more mana overall, but it's kind of one of those where you put in your 3 mana, and then as the turn goes by, you untap, you have your mana available again. if you know, then you can pay 4 to morph it up, and so it's not the greatest thing. But again, these cards are not super power crept like today's cards. You know, this is more about more balanced play back then. So, but this is a very good card and a good way to finish the game, and the lifelink does matter a lot. So, let's see. Let's go over to the sideboard. We talked about this split card here. Wayne says destroy target enchantment. So if the opponent has artifacts, the answer here is Iktabi Orangutan, 3 mana 2/2. When it enters, destroy target artifact. So it's nice to have those in the sideboard. There's 2 copies of Caller of the Claw, which is a 3 mana 2/2 elf with flash. And when it enters, you can create a 2/2 green bear token for each non-token creature put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn. So this is a nice little hedge against sweepers, which is kind of aggro's worst enemy. So you know, if your board gets swept and you have the mana up, you can flash this in and get some replacement troops for everybody that died. So that's a pretty cool card. You know, Hidden Gibbons is a 1 mana enchantment, and if the opponent casts an instant, this becomes a 4/4 ape. And not till end of turn, it just becomes a 4/4 ape. So that's pretty cool too. Good sideboard tech there. Warmth is a 2 mana enchantment, and it just says whenever an opponent casts a red spell, you gain 2 life. You can tell this deck's very anti-red in many ways. Armageddon, blow up all lands. When you have the advantage on the battlefield and you're ready to put them away, you can make sure they can't cast any more spells. Next, we have Armadillo Cloak, which is an enchantment. It's an aura, so it enchants a creature, and they get +2/+2 and trample, and whenever a creature deals damage, you gain that much life. Again, life link on this. So if you need some extra punch, especially the trample, you can pull these in. Rancor also gives trample. This does not give trample, but depending on the situation, you can mix and match what stuff you need to bring in. It's got 2 Tormod's Crypt and 1 Phyrexian Furnace for graveyard hate, and then it's got a couple of Winter Orbs. My guess is the reason that these are in the sideboard is because they're not going to hurt the aggro deck very much, because the aggro deck doesn't need very many lands to operate. I mean, at 3, you don't really need more than 3 lands to win the game, but 3 or 4, whereas the opponent may need more, so it probably is going to hurt them more. So I think that's why that's in there. So that's the deck. I'm going to go hunt down this 60th card, and then we're going to get on with some gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so we're here for game 1, and the extra card was Crusade, which is banned in Premodern, so I have replaced that with Glorious Anthem. And this first game, we are on the draw, and it looks like this is a go. We don't have any green mana, but that's alright. So I have stuff to do, so let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and get this plains down, pass. My plan here is to get the Soltari Priest down first, because it's kind of, as a beater, and then we'll slowly get these other dudes into play. Rampant Growth, okay. Alright, opponent's got all their colors. So we'll play this Soltari Priest. And then as far as Whipcorder goes, we'll probably play it for 3 mana and see if we can flip it at the right time. So opponent's got Pernicious Deed, okay. Alright, so we still don't have any green. And I'm hoping they're going to have to use this when they don't really want to, so I think we're going to just chill for now and just go in and attack. So I'm not going to play anything else until I'm going to try to force him to make me do something, because I would prefer that he blows this up to kill 1 creature instead of him being able to hit multiple creatures. So that's my plan. So my mana goes unused, which is unfortunate, but we have Swords to Plowshare up, and we can play out maybe 1 more creature depending on the situation. Opponent's just gonna chill. That's fine. if we get a green, I'm happy to play, you know, Rancor out. So we've got 7 cards in hand, so I think I'm going to pass again and just keep putting the pressure on the opponent, and then we'll probably play another Soltari Priest to not discard or whatever. So that's kind of the plan here, because we're at 7 cards. We don't want to be discarding. I'll play cards. If he hits a 2-for-1, good for him. We'll have, you know, plenty of cards in hand. So there's the Stone Splasher. Okay. And so we'll pass. Not exactly sure what. Okay. So this is a land destruction spell. Each player chooses from the lands they control a land of each basic land type and then sacks the rest. So they obviously are set up for that. We can only keep 1 plains on so that's pretty brutal. Okay. I've not seen this deck before, so I don't really know. We'll go ahead and yield, pitch one of these. So I don't know what the opponent's game plan is. I'm not familiar with the deck they're playing, but okay. Probably dump. It's fact or fiction, okay. Well, it's probably gonna be that. So this allows them to get unknown stuff out of the sideboard. Yeah, I figured he would probably do that. Okay, so now we have to discard. And it's just not really clear what they're doing. Probably going to dump 1 more Rancor, the last one. We might just be hosed out of this game, too. So, the well-timed land destruction. Okay. Alright. I don't see how it's possible to win this game, but Decree of Justice, okay. No land. It's kind of a problem. Decree of Justice, that's going to be 7 damage. We'll be dead very quickly. I mean, I can plowshare one of them, but not too exciting. Might as well, though, so. Well, there's a creature. We'll take 5 and lose our creature down to 8. I mean, I'll play it out here, but I don't really see why. I think I'm just going to concede. Yeah. All right. They got us with the land destruction spell. I've never seen that card before, but it's pretty good. Well, this might be one of the games where this card actually helps. So we might try that. Besides that, I don't really know that there's much. I mean, yeah, so I'm trying to think what they had. I don't remember what they were doing with their graveyard, but anyway, okay, so we're going to put those in. I'm going to take out the Weathered Wayfarer out and one copy of Soltari Priest and try that. With us being on the play, hopefully we can get a better start out of the gate than that. Can't keep that. Got lands and spells here. Can keep this. Pitching. Probably. It's not real clear what we should pitch. That. Just play this Mother of Runes and pass. Then we'll probably get the Silver Knight down next and see where we go from there. It's got Phyrexian Furnace, okay. Marshland. Play the Silver Knight, pass the turn. Leaving the Mother up just for protection. She's not going to attack, so. I mean, the Silver Knight has protection from red, but they've got multiple color, 5 colors, I think, so. Definitely a permission deck, so we got to try to beat him down as fast as we can, so. I don't really care about that. This is enchantments only. Okay. I think we will go ahead and do this now. Could play a second Mother of Runes. Because we've got to try to beat them down as fast as possible. Sure. Okay. Opponent's got rampant growth. Go get their swamp, probably. Alright. There's a Savannah Lions. Well, I tell you, we sure haven't drawn a lot of lands. Man, I tell you. Alright. This is a very slow beatdown. Penpal gets to draw a card. Probably Factor Fiction coming up is my guess. It's Pernicious Deed, okay. Yeah, that's pretty painful. So we lose our 1-drops. We just got 1 dude left, so okay. And I want to say, yeah, or less. So it just blows up the board. Let's see here. Says each, so it doesn't target, gets around this guy, so we'll have to hold back and I guess make him blow it now. I mean, all he has to do is pay 2 mana, right? So, and I don't think this, yeah, it doesn't matter, so, okay. I know he's not gonna care if the mothers don't attack, but like I was going to attack with everybody, but there's no point in doing that because he's going to blow it anyway. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Opponent's at 9, so we got to rebuild and see if we can get some people back out there. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand too, so a land here would be the best draw. It's not a land. Okay, well, this guy's not going to do much, but he's something. Alright. So I'll probably have to play this Whip Quarter. There's a land finally. Okay, so guess we probably should play this, even though it's the highest bang for buck, but it's probably still gonna get killed, I imagine. It's fine. So that was an interesting spell. I guess Domain's been around longer than I realized. That's a very old card. I thought that was a newer concept, but Gaze Blessing to shuffle some stuff back into their library. And oh, whoops. Let's see here. Okay. Well, we weren't able to beat him down quick enough, so we're going to lose this game, but of course they only have one card in hand, so maybe there's a chance, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope. So this guy's a 2/2 either side, so there's no reason to turn him up. So we'll just keep attacking. Hope that we can wait him out. I mean, opponent's kind of in top deck mode, drawing lands, so that's our only hope, is to hopefully get a Rancor. Would be nice to see about right now. Nope. And I'm going to hold the land just because we know that there's a land destruction spell, so opponent's at 5. Keep drawing lands. It's a Burning Wish. Okay, they're going to get a sorcery to kill our creature, I'm sure. There's not going to be anything we can do about that either, so. Because even if they target this, if I turn it face up, it's still the same object. Oh, they're going to get Decree of Justice, okay. So they're going to be able to fight back on that axis. And that card requires 2 white mana. They only have 1 available right now. Their other land is tapped, so gives us another attack. But they're going to be able to make a lot of dudes, unfortunately. Okay. I think they're going to be just in time to save themselves. So yeah, here comes a whole bunch of dudes. Or they may be able to, yeah, they can just cast angels, I think. Yeah, bunch of 4/4 angels, cool. Seems good. Of course, in this particular case, it's funny because the soldiers would have been worse for us, because we can kill those angels at least. He gains life, which is unfortunate, but oh, okay. No. That's too bad. Okay. Wasteland does nothing. Everything in our hand does nothing, so. Alright, I guess it's on defense, unfortunately. It's too bad. Tap one of their dudes, take 4. Okay. Oh, it's too bad that that doesn't do anything. I mean, if I attack, he goes to 5, we go to 8, so I have to keep tapping his creature. as much as that sucks. Alright. Winter Orb doesn't do much now, but at least if he taps out for something, his lands will remain tapped, but even in that case, it's not going to be very good because he'll still have a bunch of dudes on the battlefield, so probably no way out of this. So alright. Take our beats. It's just not meant to be. Okay. Okay. I like the opponent's deck. I do think it's a neat deck, but so we're at 8. Okay, 2 more turns and we're dead. I mean, we need something to kill one of their dudes. And we've just drawn nothing but lands for like an eternity. Okay. Yep. And it's a little late for Rancor. Can do 4 damage to him. Okay, yeah. That was, I meant to click concede game. Okay. Alright, we will move on to match 2. Alright, match 2. Also on the draw here. And we have a keepable hand, so we'll keep that. Probably get the Mother of Runes down first. And then have these Savannah Lions. Just because it provides that early protection if it doesn't die, so. Whereas if I play Savannah Lions first, then Mother of Runes, I can't protect the Savannah Lions. So, okay, there we go. Alright, so we have a green. Okay. Well. Counterspell. Okay. We could, it's tempting to get in with this, but I don't think it's the right play. So we'll just wait. Hopefully get a land off the top. So far we've kind of been struggling with lands a little bit. I mean, that last deck we played had that mass land destruction spell, but not had like, except for the end of the last game where we had too many lands. Yeah, see, that's just too bad. Okay, well, this is what we got to deal with. So now next turn, if I can, I try to get in with the Savannah Alliance and have protection up and pump it +2/+2. Opponent's got accumulated knowledge. Another accumulated knowledge. I got 7 cards in hand. Lots they can do. Portent. Trying to see the future. And again, I'm not sure what this deck is either. I don't think it's Stifle Not. It So it could be tricks, maybe. I'm not really sure. Okay. Oh, there's a plains. That's good. All right, so I'm not sure if maybe True Believer's the right pick next, since I don't know what they're doing, and if they can't target me, they can't like donate or something like that. I'm probably going to play this, but for now, I'm going to play this and just try to get in for some damage here. And get in with the True Believer and pass. Only because, like I said, I don't know what they're playing, but so far based on their cards, it looks like it's tricks. So this at least protects me from that. So that's my thing. Okay, Mox Diamond. Okay. So maybe it's just land still. Could be that too. All right. It's good to see that. All right, let's go to combat. Swords, plowshares, okay. And fire. Okay, so they do have red mana, so that's good. And when I say that's good, I just mean we have protection from red people, so. Speaking of that, we'll get this guy down and try to get our next guys down next turn. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's the Psychotog, oh boy. Well, we're going to need a Rancor or something. A Swords of Plowshare would be the best draw, but... yeah, unfortunately, they can just... yeah, it's just too bad. I think I'm going to play this to try to tap it next turn, but for right now, I think I'm going to give up a creature just to be able to get in for some points of damage. Problem is he's going to block this, and he'll be able to kill that with a bolt or something. So instead, I think plan B is going to be that we're going to go this route and wait one turn. I don't mind throwing a creature away, but the problem is if I do that and he blocks the Silver Knight, which of course he should, then I don't have a creature that can be resistant to some of their removal. Like we saw the fire already, and I wouldn't want him to block this and then be able to like fire ping ping or something like that. At least we have one creature that has protection, and if we can make it past this turn and start tapping down the Psychotog, we might be able to get somewhere. We'll see. We got to watch out for lethal too, though, because he can come out of nowhere to pump it up out of this world. Not sure what we got here, but I have no more legal plays right now, so I'm going to pass. Opponent's cooking something up there. He's got 2 mana floating, now a third. It's another Psychotog. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, this time we will crash in with some peeps. He's only got 6 life left, so. Alright. let's go ahead. Now he's going to take 4. If he blocks the Silver Knight here, then that's just them's the breaks, because we got to get in there. We got to get this game over with. He still takes 4. He can't tap his City of Brass really anymore, so he has to discard some cards or exile from the graveyard to get through that. It's fine. He's only got to discard 1 card. Yeah. So he did the exile 2 from his graveyard. Okay. And I think I have to play this other Savannah Lion out. The risk of the... I mean, if he's got a sweeper, we lose anyway because we can't beat 2 Psychotogs. So. Alright, well, depending on what he's got, I'm probably blocking one of those only because, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think he can do lethal, so. He's gushing, now he's going to get more cards to do that with, so he's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he can do 15 damage. Or, sorry, 16 damage. I mean, if he gets out of this with 1 life, it's going to be like, ugh. Oh my gosh. It's just enough. He needed that extra mana there, probably. He couldn't tap it. Well, Psychotogs, huh? Opponent does have some instance. This card might be okay. I don't know that we make a lot of changes, though, is the thing. The opponent does have instance out the wazoo, so this might be a decent bring-in, but I kind of think we're just going to stick with what we got. I don't see anything that's just screaming, hey, take me out, so that, yeah. Armageddon, Winter Orbs. I guess maybe a Tormod's Crypt, a well-timed Tormod's Crypt might be okay. That's one thing I didn't think of, but they can still respond to it with the Psychotog, so it still doesn't even really get around that. So, all right, we're gonna keep and hopefully get the beats going early. Okay. Don't see any reason to play this yet, so I think we're just going to play this Savannah Lion and pass. And we might pump it up for damage. It just depends on what he does. Oh, he's got Mox Diamond. Okay. Dumping that City of Brass. They took a lot of damage on it last time. Okay, so they have Swords of Plowshare up, so I'm not going to pump it with this. Instead, I'm just going to play Soltari Priest. I don't want to get my pump spell blown out, so. Opponent's got Counterspell. Accumulated Knowledge, okay. Swords to Plowshares, okay. Well, we probably... Obviously, we're playing a morph creature. That thing's getting plowshared. And probably followed with just another Soltari Priest. Yeah. Okay. Don't have green mana. I wasn't thinking about that earlier. Yeah, we don't even have green mana. Ugh. Couldn't do that anyway. Okay. Oh, because I was thinking of the... I think I still had the Windswept Heath. I probably should have fetched green there, but I wanted to get this down. We'll see. We still have dudes to place down for the beats. Hopefully we'll get a forest so we can do that at some point. Okay. Alright, oh, there we go. He might have Swords to Plowshare. I think I'm going to take the chance this turn to try to get the damage in. If he's got it, he's got it. I mean, yeah. See if we can sneak that in there. Opponent says no. Okay. Yeah, yeah. But for some reason he plowshared the other creature. Okay. Maybe because... No, it's not clear why, but okay. I think I'm going to play this one first. I realize that it's vulnerable, but if we could flip it up, it's going to be pretty good. Alright, see what the opponent's got here. Hopefully it's not... Okay, that's fine. Okay. Flies right over that elephant. Alright, then we'll get this whip quarter down and see if we can tap some blockers and try to get through for the rest of the damage here. That's the plan. Another land would be good. Hope we don't run into a sweeper. He's just digging for Swords to Plowshares and sweepers right now, so hopefully he doesn't find it. Okay. Silver Knight. Alright. Well, combat it is. Opponent's looking for that Swords to Plowshare. Gushes. He's looking hard. Does he find it? No. Alright. Okay, so I realize that this makes me vulnerable, but I think it's worth it to try to get this down to tap any blockers that might be in the way. But I don't know. I could have played the other Savannah line, but I want to leave some creature equity if he's got Wrath of God here. So, but obviously he does not, since yeah, this fetch land actually matters. When you're at 5 life, every point matters. Opponent declined to use Portent's ability, so it means that he shuffled. So he didn't find what he was looking for in the top 3 cards. That's actually good. Shuffling in a random draw is much better than him rearranging 3 cards. Oh my god, it's Pyroclasm. Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate. You cannot crack that fetch land, that's for sure. You might as well have attacked there. But. Okay. Well, let's see if he's got Well, yeah, that's right. He can't. He can't. I keep thinking he can't do that. Okay. All right. So we got to get through the last points of damage, but I also got to be careful about. We're at 34 life. I think I'm just gonna take a chance that if he gets rid of my creature, then I'll deploy more creatures. But we have 34 life. 7 cards in hand. I would imagine he's got the answer, right? I mean, nope, he sure doesn't. Boy, he's digging deep though. I'm surprised he hasn't found something. Another Mox Diamond. 8 cards in hand. Is that the Wrath of God? Oh, it's the Call of Bird. That doesn't help him. And that'll end the game. Oh, he's going to get in for token 3 points of damage. I respect it. Go grab that forest. Alright, let's see if he's got it. I don't think he does, but... Oh my god, are you serious? Wow. Okay. That's unfortunate, but you know. Yep. So as bad as those elephant tokens are, we're going to plowshare the Psychotog. If he has counterspell, I mean, then he's got it. That's all I can say. He can gain a bunch of life, I guess. I mean, that's also unfortunate, but we just don't have anything else we can do. We got to be able to get through, and I mean, if I was him, yeah. If he does not have counterspell, then he can just pump that thing up and gain a whole bunch of life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he could gain 9 life. It's pretty annoying, but what are you gonna do? Okay. Oh boy. So now his creatures have flying because Wonder is in the graveyard. Probably going to end up losing this game after all this. And I think I'll probably bring in Torment's Crypt, I guess. And for some reason... Okay, I'm confused. So he's at 5. He goes down to 3. And then we play the angel. Yeah. I know I lose a creature here, but I got to punish him a little bit for attacking. And I'm surprised he didn't gain more life, but he must have a good plan, so. Alright. It's what we got. This is all we can do. Aggro, not my favorite archetype, but I figured it was a good way to start off the series. Because this is why. The aggro decks of today have much more staying power. The aggro decks of yesteryear just, wow, that's risky to do that, but okay. It's too bad that that's not. Okay. The reason I say it's risky is if I hit Swords to Plowshare, he just loses on the spot, so. But sometimes you gotta play on the edge when you're down. I get it. I think that's a fire or a pyroclasm. Oh my god, and it all goes to pot. Wow. And that's the end. Man. Yep. That is the end. Just see our top card or two here. Just see if there's any glimmer of hope. Trying to think of what card saves me. I don't think there's really anything. I mean, Swords Plowshare doesn't do. I think it's just that's it. We're just dead. So. Right. Well, opponent's got a much more sophisticated deck than we do. That's for sure. I mean, I'm gonna bring these in, but I don't know how effective they're gonna be. And the rest of this stuff just isn't very important. I think I'll bring in one of these just in case the... Boy. Let's see what else we've got here. So we're on the draw. So I guess Wayfarer's better on the draw. Take one True Believer out. Guess one of these. All right. Or sorry, on the play. Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I said on the draw, but Weathered Wayfarer better on the draw, but we are on the play. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep. Even if we have to put Rancor on Mother of Runes, which is not ideal, but that might be what it comes to. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Much rather have the Silver Knight out there. So yeah, just try to get this Rancor down and start going to town. That's the plan. Or might just play Glorious Anthem. One of the two, not sure. Depends on our draw, so. Opponent is getting ready to take their next turn. And here we go. City of Brass, okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Wax instead of Rancor. Well, let me think. Yeah, we'll play Rancor. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to go to combat. I think we'll play Wax here and see if it gets there. Not sure. Couple extra points of damage, or he'll counterspell it. One of the two. Okay. Alright. Got to get all the damage we can. Pass the turn. Opponent's got fire, it looks like. Gonna try to kill two creatures, I imagine. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna protect the Mother of Runes herself. Let the Savannah Lions go. Might be a mistake, but because this guy's already got protection from red. He's got plowshares. I don't know. It could just all fall apart too. So opponent gushes, looking for that plowshare. The Mox Diamond. It's a nice little combo there. Yeah, this is a game that comes down to very specific things. I mean, unfortunately, for an aggro deck, this deck seems kind of weak. I just don't sense the power. I realize these decks are a little underpowered for back then, but yeah, he finds that anyway. So, God, I swear. All right, it just feels like such a bad matchup. Okay. I mean, we had him down to 1 last game. We couldn't finish it off. I mean, that's pretty bad. I think we had them down to 1 the game before, right? I don't know. I'm trying to focus on the current moment here. Here's the Psychotog. Okay. Okay. Probably going to have to use the Mother of Runes on offense here. I think I'm playing this. Trying to just go in full tilt on damage to try to get in everything we can. Shields are down, so we could just get blown out of the water here. So I would not be surprised to see. Call the herd, okay. Wasteland. That does help, actually. Alright, let's force him to use his mana now. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Alright, so... protection from green. Oh, whoops. Man, I tell you... It's been a long time since I've done that. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's funny because I remember that happening back in the day where if a creature had protection and then enchantments would fall off. So that's not the first time I've seen that. Obviously I didn't want that to happen, but I'm still not used to playing the format. Let's just say that. That's funny. God, that's how annoying. Should have just attacked, and the trample would have just helped do something. Opponent's low on resources. They're kind of scrambling, but they still have Psychotog. Is very scary. Wow. Okay. Hopefully we get a land here. That would be the best draw. Not a land. God. Okay. Well, that's too bad. I think this time the Rancor to just try to trample through some stuff. I think that's what we need to do here. So we'll put the protection. Man, that's tough. I guess we just have to just attack with one creature. It's kind of too bad, but let's, oh, actually, okay, I can give it protection from black. Reason being, if he blocks with the elephants, I can kill one of them, so I get the Rancor back. Of course, he just takes the damage, so that's interesting. Okay, well, I'll not play out this last Savannah Lions in the hopes that I can draw land to morph the Angel over and see if that's enough. Opponent's gushing. They seem kind of desperate here. They're just searching for answers, gushing. Of course, they got Mox Diamonds, and that produces white mana for Swords to Plowshare. So, and like I said, we got, you know, shields down here. So, let's see. Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's a lethal attack. Okay. That's really unfortunate, but I have to do that. I don't have a choice. Yeah, okay. Whew, man. Yeah, the Psychotog math is a lot of fun. Alright, we'll be on to match 3. Alright, match 3 here on the draw. Looks like a keeper. Not the greatest hand in the world, but not something I would mulligan. So, okay, we can probably do Weathered Wayfarer stuff. Or not. Roots. Okay, looks like we're up against the rock. I actually think it's right to Plowshare this Wall of Roots. So that's what we're gonna do. Because that mana ramp does matter a lot. Treetop Village, Phyrexian Furnace, Hokey Doke. Okay. So next turn they can activate the Treetop Village. I probably should have played Wasteland, but I'm just gonna play this here and pass. I could have played that up, but I think maybe playing it down is better. But either way, it's still just a vulnerable creature. And we should be able to deal with the Treetop Village, whether it's Wasteland or Swords to Plowshare or whatever. I mean, like right now, he could just bash in for 3, I guess, but depends on what else he's doing. Oh my god, the Dust Bowl. Okay. Is he going to use that right away? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'd like to give my creature +2/+2, but I don't want him to Dust Bowl away this other land. So I think what I'm going to do is go to combat. Get in for 2. And then waste away the Dust Bowl so I don't get any more of that nonsense going on. And pass. And if he activates the Treetop Village, probably Plowsharing it, honestly. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do that right now, but Pernicious Deed, sure. So he has no mana up for the Pernicious Deed. This is an instant, so we'll just go ahead and kill that now. Sure. Okay, lesson learned. The morph side is a 0 CMC, and I could have saved it. Okay. Well, we don't know everything, but I won't make that mistake again. God, that's so embarrassing. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Grave for Muse, sure, good. If you don't make any mistakes, you've never played a game of Magic, that's for sure. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, come on, give us something. I don't want to expose the brush land to, you know, an LD effect, so I'm going to keep it close to the vest until we need to deploy it. Yep. Alright, give us a threat. Come on. Alright. Treetop beats coming our way. Yeah, man. So yeah, I won't forget that. But the morph side is a 0 CMC. So Cabal Therapy, sure. Looking for that plowshare. Is it safe to activate the Treetop Village? Yes, it is. Get in there. Yep. Alright, we're going to go grab our one forest and hope to draw something besides a land. We either have too many lands or not enough so far. Alright, come on, give us something. That's something. Now this time the gig's up. I know what's going on, so won't make the same mistake. If he has Pernicious Deed, I mean, the situation's not the same, of course, but you know what I'm saying. Because I could have turned it up before, which was just painful that I made that mistake, but them's the breaks. Alright, looks like they're still going to do the treetop thing. No, they're going to Chainer's Edict. Okay, there's nothing I can do about that. Alright, cool. Alright, we can keep the... Alright, well... Not much we can do right now, so... Yep. Let's say this game just hinges on us drawing action, period. Like, that's all this game's about right now. We have to have action every turn. Now, this guy can't block, so there's nothing we can do about the Treetop Village. It's just 3 points every turn until we get a way to remove it, but at least... Oh. Well, that's too bad. Might as well use it. Didn't want to use it there, but, you know, didn't have a choice, really. I mean, I could just let him take it, too, I guess, but it doesn't really matter either way, so. Sure. And we're just in a world of pain. Yeah, alright. The demise continues. Well, that would have been helpful a while back, but because we, you know, it would protect us from Cabal therapy, but it's kind of too late for that. What a horrible situation this is. Top decking, just trying to desperately get up a lock in. I mean, man, this is just not where you want to be. But I've got a bunch of decks lined up to play. This one I'm definitely not impressed with so far. I don't really care for aggro in general. Well, that helps some. But there's plenty of other deck types that we'll be exploring in the space, so looking forward to doing that. Okay, well at least we've stabilized enough to stop the bleeding. We're starting to amass some troops. He's probably just holding on to a pernicious deed, waiting to blow us away, but I mean, I gotta get in there. Like, let's see if he attacks. I still think I'm ready to be aggressive just yet. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and get in there. It's a little aggressive, but this is kind of a game we're losing anyway. So the downside's not that great if we get blown out there or whatever, but opponent's got a land. Opponent seems a little flooded. It's good. Savannah Lions, okay. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just keep trying to get in there. I mean, and I'm going to hold on to this Savannah Lions only because of Pernicious Deed. We don't want to get too blown out here. But we've been able to close the gap a little bit, so that's good. Hopefully they'll keep drawing lands. Oh, another land. Wow. I wonder what their last two cards are if they're lands. Ooh, another Rancor. That's really good. Okay, let's do the thing here. Okay. Eight. Swing for 8? Question mark? Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, pass back. Opponent's at 5. They're dead on board. Well, they're not exactly dead on board. Oh, okay. They do have a blocker and they can activate Treetop Village now, so they... And they just... Okay. They'd rather draw a card than have a blocker. Interesting. And I think this guy draws a card anyway. Yeah, you can block and sack. Alright. We'll take it. What else do we need? Our Wax and Wanes take care of the Pernicious Deeds. We have 4 Wastelands for the land destruction. We have Swords to Plowshares. I think we're probably good. This card might be okay. This Caller of the Claw. So we're on the draw. I think I'm gonna take this out for the Weathered Wayfarer, and just to see. I mean, if we get Pernicious Deeded and this is up, that would be kind of cool. But other than that, I don't see a lot, you know, that I want to do sideboard wise. So we'll just try this one card. If the stars align and the situation comes up, that would be kind of cool. But you know, I mean, we're an aggro deck. You know, we just it's just about deploying your forces and beating down, and so I don't want to get too far away from the core mission. Okay, gonna keep. I think I'm probably gonna play True Believer first, only because the Cabal therapies are so nasty, and then the Soltari Priest will get that down afterwards. It's got Wall of Roots. Okay, we're gonna Plowshare that again because of the ramp factor. And there's the Caller of the Claw. All right, no Cabal therapies. You got to kill this guy first. It's a little bit of protection. It's not like everything, but you know, it's something. Another wall of roots. Okay. Wasteland. I'm going to save the wasteland for the treetop villages. And I think... yeah, I think I'm just going to play this Soltari Priest and call it a day. I'm not going to attack with the True Believer. There's no real point of doing that, so... and that doesn't matter anyway. Okay. At least they had to kill that first. Waste a removal spell on a non-beater. I mean, it can attack, but that's not its real purpose or whatever. Now we're getting the Cabal Therapy. Oh. Okay. Opponent's got things going on. Swords of Plowshares. Alright, I'm going to Plowshare the Yavimaya Elder because it says when this creature dies, you can go get 2 lands. And you can pay 2 to sacrifice it, draw a card, and get 2 lands. This card's pretty good. So I think I'm just going to, like, just get that. And then play this Whip Quarter face down and pass. It's got hopefully not another Chainer's Edict. I've seen enough of those already. Ooh, oh man, Graveborn Muse. Okay, that's really good. Well, let's go to combat. If they don't block, I can get in for 4. Tapping the Graveborn Muse doesn't really do anything, so... and I think I'm still gonna just get in for some damage. And now they get their advantage. Phyrexian Arena on a stick. If you have more zombies, you know, get more, but basically, at its core, that's what it is. Gonna get in for 3, sure. Okay. Go ahead and turn this guy up. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Okay. Still hanging on to this wasteland. I still don't see the need to deploy it. Okay. I forgot this guy still has 5 life or 5 toughness. Okay. Not much happening in this game so far. I think we're kind of falling behind though, so. Good Lord, what now? Flashback. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they can do that. I would flash this in, but having 1 green source right now has kind of been bit of a bummer. Not sure what they're doing. I'm assuming this is what they're trying to do, but... Oh. Okay. This is a soldier human rebel. Okay. Oh my. Yeah, alright. He's dead. Okay. This is not a human. So, we're going to play the Savannah Alliance. And I think we're just still going to, yeah, just play Rancor and Wasteland Pass. Yeah, the extra card to turn is just going to be too much to overcome, I think. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yep. Not much we can do about that. And we're just going to get slowly bled out here. Oh my gosh, that just doesn't do much. Man. Well, this card seems really bad when you don't have any other creatures. Oh my gosh. I can't flash in and block. That just doesn't do anything, so... As much as it sucks, I think we're going to just play this. No funsies. Graveborn Muse, the MVP. A little help from Engineered Plague. And we're at 7. There's another treetop village. Yeah. That's probably too late because we're going to take 6. It doesn't hurt to put this on there, so all right. Yeah. Doesn't feel very good. We could trade and kill the Graveborn Muse, which at this point of the game is a real possibility, so. And he's probably got a removal spell. Cool. Yep. And we take 6 and go to 1. And that's probably going to be it. Okay. Oh, and just for good measure, he's got another creature. Okay. Alright, well, let's try this again. Well, we still have our, our enchantment removal. Just trying to think if there's anything else here that helps. I mean, is the Winter Orb worth deploying? I'm not sure. Could take out something like this to bring in a Winter Orb and this Armadillo Cloak. A little extra life gain, maybe. Not sure. It kind of just depends on how fast we can get things moving over here. So we have no white mana, so we can't keep that hand. This has got white mana, so keep this. Putting back probably Swords to Plowshares, so we have a variety of things. Savannah Lions, go get them. Well, so far so good on the curve. We just kind of keep doing that. We might be okay. No black mana yet from the opponent. That's good. And the Swords of Plowshares is going to come in real handy right now. Keep the aggro movement alive here. And let's just keep going. I mean, sweepers be damned. We gotta press our advantage as much as we can. Opponent's got 7 cards in hand, so here comes the Pernicious Deed to sweep up the dorks next turn. I always have to think of the worst case scenario because that's what comes to my mind, but it could be anything. But he's got a lot of pressure to deal with, which is what we want to do. We want to push the envelope and put the pressure on and see if they can respond. So we'll see what he's got here. Maybe we're getting slow rolled. Opponent in the tank. And on this side, we just got to keep drawing gas. A forest would be helpful at some point, but as long as we can keep drawing dudes, I think we're going to be okay. We do have the Wane, so if they played the Pernicious Deed now, we could kill it without any collateral damage, which is nice, but that doesn't mean, you know, that's what they're doing. But okay, so they're going to, okay, interesting. Yeah, that lack of green is kind of hurting right now. We really need to see a forest pretty soon. I'm surprised they don't have something to kill one of the creatures. They're probably just trying to decide which one is the worst one. I would say the Whip Quarter is probably the worst, but you know, they don't have any red, so the Silver Knight, they're all 2 power creatures, so Smother, yeah, he was trying to decide which dude to do. Sure, you got it. Take 4. Pass back. Engineered Plague. Okay. Humans or lions? Well, that was probably smart because that killed a creature for sure. I don't need to kill that now, so I'm not gonna waste my spell on it. That's actually pretty good, so. That was the right thing at the right time there. Okay, we can't say we have all bad luck, because that was actually really good to see that at that point in time. The Yavimaya Elder. Okay. It's pretty good. So we have Trample, which means we can play this Wax side, which I think is probably what we want to do, right? I like being able to blow up an enchantment, but at this stage of the game, he's got enough mana to activate it after. He's gonna block. Okay, my guy's got Trample, so. That's gonna hurt. Oh my. Just completely blown out. Oh my god. Alright, I'm a little tilted there. Okay, that really hurts. That may cost us the game. That was so bad. Oh my god. Wow. Wow, that was so bad. I guess I got greedy. Yeah. Paid for the greed. That was a mistake. Dang it. I thought we were going to be able to get in there, but no. The OG kill your creature spell. Oh my god. I thought for sure. I don't know what. Yeah. Oh well. Gotta move on. Yeah, we're really kind of in trouble now because that was such a tremendous blowout, and opponent's drawing cards, getting lands, they're just doing all the things now. So not good, not good at all. Okay. All right, so here we go. And I don't think we can hold creatures back now. If he's got Pernicious Deed, then it's GG's. So we got to try to at least present a lethal attack here. So if he's got he's got 5 cards in hand. One of them's land, but that's plenty of stuff to have that could easily be a terror, a smother, a Pernicious Deed. You know, he's probably got all kinds of removal options, so I don't think we're safe here by any stretch of the imagination. He would have to have a complete bricks for us to get there. It's very unlikely. These guys are, okay, Soltari Clerics. Okay. I imagine he's choosing how to kill. I mean, both our dudes are the same. They do the same thing, so killing one is no different than killing the other. I mean, hopefully he's desperate and searching for outs because we have a lethal attack on board. And he's got, I mean, we've seen over the course of this match, he's got plenty of removal. I mean, we hadn't seen the terror before, but smother, terror, Pernicious Deed. There's probably other stuff he's got. So, opponent's in the tank. Last time he was in the tank, he came out with, oh my gosh, we lucked out. He had nothing. Whew. All right, match 4 coming up. All right, here we are for match 4. We're going to be on the play. And this is probably going to be good enough to keep, so we'll keep. Probably just start on, yeah, we'll start on Windswept. All right. Okay, so we'll just go get a plains here. And lucky for us, the Silver Knight is protection from red, so. cursed scroll. Well, it does things. Okay. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Let's go ahead and put the rancor on this. And another protection from red card and pass. Oh, it's going to be going all face here. Two cursed scrolls. Okay. Very interesting. Alright, so I think this is pretty clear. Oops. Another protection from red creature. That's pretty rough. I admit that's rough. I don't think we have to do a lot or make a lot of changes. We could bring this in to make it even worse. We're on the draw, so we'll take out the Weathered Wayfarer and ship it. Alright, we're on the draw. I imagine if we can resolve this spell right here, we might get a early scoop. I mean, a lot of it just depends on what he's got going on. Goblin Patrol. Alright, I think we'll wait until after he pays the Echo and then Swords to Plowshare that. Seal of Fire. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and get this warmth down and see where it goes from there. It's rough, man, I tell you. This deck's got a lot of mono red hate, that's for sure. And we didn't build this deck, so hope the opponent's not mad at us, but you know, this is what we got, so. Okay, so let's go ahead and deploy our creatures here. The Savannah Lions obviously is going to be dead, but that's okay. We can Seal of Fire the Savannah Lions. I mean, part of the quandary for the opponent is some of our creatures he can't kill, so does he save his stuff to hit face, or, you know? I would imagine he probably... I'm gonna go ahead and save this lion. Sure. You got it. Yep, that was an easy one because we just were very, very well set up for that. Okay, so on to match 5. All right, match 5. We're on the play. Let's see what we're working with here. 1 mana's probably not going to get the job done, so yeah, I just can't keep that. I know I can play these Savannah Lions, but if I don't have a land till turn 4, it's just I got to have a chance. I can't just, so yeah. We will be mulling to 5. Hoping that that will be good enough. Mulligan. All right, not great, but much better than what we had. So we'll pitch a wasteland and well, yeah, let's just do that. Okay. Probably gonna have to pitch, or rather fetch for a plains instead of. We'd like to get a forest with this, but opponent for some reason passes the turn. Maybe they're playing Reanimator. That's possible. We'll see what they're discarding here. Yeah, I would say that's a yes. So we'll need to bring in our Graveyard Hate for this one. Boy, that's too bad. Well, I don't know that this is going to matter, but I think we'll play this up first. Just, I mean, he's going to be targeting stuff in his graveyard, not necessarily us as players, but. And the Rancor's kind of dead in our hand right now, too. Yeah, that's terrifying. Oh my god, just like that. Come on, Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. We're just going to get beat down, so unfortunately. We got our Shadow guy, so. Yeah, we're just going to take a lot of damage. That's what we're looking at. It's not trample, so we can maybe get some chump blocks out of the deal. It's not the worst thing to see, but we're going to be at 5. And then we can chump block. I think that's the line I'm going to take here. I know it's a little aggressive, but that's what we're going to do. Because he's dead also on his next turn. So, alright, well, let's see where we go from here. Yeah, I'd say you probably don't want to attack there. No, he's got 8 cards. He can discard another big creature. Yeah, that could be a problem. Right now, we're just going to get in for 3 and then play this other shadow creature, and hopefully that'll be good enough. We'll see. Alright, opponent's dead on board. Let's see what they got. They got to kill 2 dudes when they have no lands, so I don't know how that's possible, but. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, I've played Reanimator decks where, you know, you just pass your turn and you dump something in the graveyard and bring it back out. Usually that plan doesn't work. Sometimes it can, though. If the opponent stumbles even a little bit, it can be pretty devastating. But fortunately, we had creatures and we had things to do, and so. All right, so we got to bring in these cards here. And what are we taking out? So we're on the draw, so we'll take out the Weathered Wayfarer. Take out a True Believer. I don't know that the True Believer is really going to be that impactful. Hard to say. And we'll just take out one Mother of Runes, I think. Yeah, let's just do that. All right. If we can get it. Oh. We'll wait till we get into the game here. All right. Opponents on the play. We have not a great opening hand at all. I think I'm going to mulligan this. I'd like to see a sideboard piece and a better land mix. Okay, well that's worse, so we'll be going to 5. Opponent mulled to 6 also, so that's encouraging. If we go to 5, it won't be as bad as it normally would be. So mull to 5. And yeah, we're going to have to keep this. Putting back a Rancor. And the Exalted Angel. So, okay, here we go. Start on Windswept Heath, shuffle up the library, try to get some Tormod Crypts and a Phyrexian Furnace maybe to the top. Well, now I'm going to save the fetch land for when I need to better determine the color I'm going to need. Now, most likely, I'll probably just play it on turn 2 and just play the Whipcorder, but I don't know, so we'll see. I don't like taking a lot of damage from the pain lands, and the opponent is hurting on lands again. Okay, I guess we'll make that our green source. Go ahead and fetch up, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this Whipcorder out because I want to go ahead and just get the beats going as soon as possible. Mother of Rune's not going to attack because she's only for protection. And we'll morph down this Exalted Angel next turn and see if we can just start beating down. Opponent's got Careful Study, draw 2, then discard 2. They're discarding a couple of really big creatures, so that's pretty scary. We need Tormod's Crypt like now, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble. These are nasty creatures. Okay. Okay. That's not a Tormod's Crypt, but oh boy. This Whipcorder could actually be a good thing. It could tap a creature down. I don't know if they have a way to give them haste. Honestly, so I have played a lot of Premodern to get prepared for this, but you can't prepare for everything, and I don't know all the decks in and out. There's a lot of decks, a lot of tech, a lot of creatures, a lot of cards, so hopefully they can't give it haste. I don't know that they can, but we'll see what they got. Cabal Therapy, okay. What are they naming? So they're most scared of the Swords to Plowshares, it appears. Makes sense. Let's see if they have the reanimate here. Maybe just deciding which creature to get out of the graveyard. They're both pretty bad for us. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, just no sideboard help. Okay. And for some reason, oh, yep, other non-black creatures get -1/-1. Not cool, my friend, not cool. Okay, so we got a couple choices to make here. I guess I think what we're probably going to do is, okay, so we didn't get the land, which means doesn't mean a lot, but we'll play out our True Believer, and we'll go ahead and I don't care about tapping this the first time, so I'm going to go ahead and play out the Rancor now, and then save the tapping for future turns with the Whip Quarter. So we'll just see how this plays out. I imagine that thing's going to attack every turn. They are at 10, so I don't know. It depends on what their strategy is here. I mean, they didn't. Yeah, okay. I would imagine he's bringing it. Yeah, leave it back for defense. That makes sense. Be nice if we can flip up the angel. Well, we can't flip up the angel and tap their dude. So the angel would be 3/4 plus it would be 5/4 trample. I guess that does get the job done. Didn't see the land though. So yeah, I mean, I want to get in there, so I think we are going to tap that down. So let's go to combat. Too bad we didn't see a land, but the opponent probably has a removal spell with the delay in responding that they're doing. I mean, they're only at 10 life. They're going to take 4 here to be down to 6. That's pretty dangerous. So I would imagine they're probably going to look to see if they have terror, or which wouldn't affect this creature, I don't think. Just, well, terror is destroy target non-black. Yeah, that would kill that. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. See what they got. But the lack of land drops is going to be our downfall, it looks like. Play this Silver Knight post-combat. Okay. Bunch of 1/1s. Opponent's at 7, so, and they're, oh, they're, well, okay, they're attacking. That's probably not good news for us. If they don't care about blocking, means they must have. Or they could be doing that just because it's getting tapped every turn. No, it's not. Here's the Dark Ritual. Here comes something that could potentially change the course of the game very quickly. What's it going to be? Oh my god, it's a... Oh my god. Wow, a second one of those. Okay. And it's a legend. Wow. Just enough to do the job and get out of there. Huh. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for sure. Whip Quarter it is. You know, maybe it was better to play that face up and put Rancor on it. I always want to put it face down just for, I mean, surprise factor, I guess. There are two creatures that have that morph ability, so it could be one of the two. So I think we're still kind of in a good place. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand. Okay. Okay, well that's good. Now we can get down our Angel. And go ahead and put the Rancor on it and see if we can start tapping that and getting some damage in. We need a land. If we don't get a land, we'll still morph the Angel, and that, you know, might be good enough. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. Actually, well, let's see. If we flip up the Angel, it's going to be a 3/4. It'll be a 5/4 trample. That's enough to kill the Ascendant Evincer if it's going to block. The other line is to tap it, get in for 3. And then play this. Maybe that's better because we're doing okay on life, so. And then we were able to deploy this shadow creature that no, would die on the spot, so never mind. Since it's a non-black creature, it would get -1/-1 and die. So we may regret not going the other line, but this still... Oh my god, come on. Boy, they're just able to just dodge and bob and weave. Alright. Well, next turn I think we're just going to flip it up. I mean, I probably should have done it there. That may have been a mistake to not do that. That would force a block, because it's going to be a 5/4 trample. Okay, let's see. If we draw a land, it'd be even better because we can tap his creature. So, all right. Well, opponent, I'm guessing, must have more removal stuff. Yeah, maybe I should read this card. Okay, so that's gone for good. All right. Wasteland, is that helpful here or not? Yeah, I guess it is. Well, yeah, let's just, okay. This will give us lethal if we can get away with this. And of course, he's got the answer. Oh my gosh, I'm tired of seeing that spell. Okay. All right, pass back. Opponent's at 2. Dead on board. See what they can come up with here. if I play the Rancor out again, they can play the Ray of Revelation from the graveyard to kill it one more time, but that's not really going to matter at this point of the game, because he's got to be able to kill the Exalted Angel, or at the very least kill the Whipcord. And even then, I don't know, it may not be enough, we'll see. Well, that's not good. So he animated dead on... Oh my gosh, okay. Alright, that's annoying. Well, I think I'm going to strip away the gemstone mine, and that way if he wants to try to play this from the graveyard, it's going to be costly. Sure. Okay. And then if I take away the Undiscovered Paradise, all he's got is Pain Lands left. Because right now he can still play the Ray of Revelation. Which would mean my creature's a 3/4, he could double block. Actually, if I just tap this down, that might be better. It's unclear what to do. Okay, I'm going to play this. I know he can kill it, but it's going to cost him... Well, at this point it won't cost him anything because he's got the green floating, so that's nice for him. And 3/4... Yeah, I guess I got to tap something. So 3/4 beats... 3/4 beats 3/3, and then I think I'll hit the Surprise Wasteland afterwards to kill his Undiscovered Paradise. That way he just has Pain Lands left. Okay, sure. Okay. And I can also play this Soltari Priest now. Okay. Hopefully that's not overkill, but he doesn't have very many resources to do anything. He could animate this, but I don't know if that's going to help him. He could gain some life right here, but that's also not going to matter. Oh, okay, let's see what happens. I guess he can block. No, he's going to go in for the attack. All right. I mean, it's going to get tapped anyway. I guess it's better that way than... He's at 5, and he's going to take 6 and be dead, unless he's got something. Okay, well, cool. We got there with a 4/1 with this green-white aggro deck. So as soon as my screen stops freaking out, bring this over here. So yeah, that's great. So let's quickly jump back over for a little post-game wrap-up. Well, after our first match, I felt like this deck was very weak. But I think it's only because the matchup was bad in that first match, and it's not that the deck is weak, it's just that it's weak compared to today's decks. But in this format, it's a solid aggro deck. I mean, it's got things it can do. I mean, the Mother of Runes provides protection. Savannah Lion's just good value, 1 mana 2/1. You got Swords of Plowshares for removal. This is a little odd to have this card in here, but hey, it can do a thing at the right time. Rancors are great to pump up your dudes. The Silver Knights are nice, just 2/2 first strike, and that protection from red against I mean, maybe red was a bad matchup, and they have these in there to kind of level the playing field. Got this one of Soltari Monk, so whatever that's about, and then more protection from red, shadow creatures that can't be blocked. You got the pump ups. You got another versatile card here that can pump stuff up, or destroy an enchantment. Bring in these for artifact side of things. The True Believer, I don't know if I'm a believer in this, because he was mediocre at best. I think I don't know. Some of these I think are kind of flex slots that could be other things might be able to be put in there, but I don't really know what alternatives there might be. The Whip Quarter seemed like this card was pretty good. This was a helpful card at the right time, so that's a good one to kind of get the damage through that you're trying to get in. And then we talked about this card a little bit being versatile. The Exalted Angel, pretty nice top end, especially when you can gain some life back if you're kind of down a little bit, so that helps a little bit. And Glorious Anthem is good just for general pump up of the team. That's also reasonable there. Sideboard wise, we use some of the sideboard cards. I can see their purpose. Obviously sideboards are going to be tailored to the meta game, and this deck here may have been a local metagame somewhere out there. I don't remember. I've downloaded so many decks and done a lot of spreadsheet analysis on them to pick the right ones to play for my channel, so I don't always have the full story on each deck, but whoever Mark Dahmen is, he did pretty good with this deck somewhere out there. I could look it up, or you guys could look it up, but I wanted to play the deck, and I think it was a good first step into the pre-modern world and the MTGO leagues that they have now for pre-modern. So I think it was a good start, and the deck got there. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of aggro, but sometimes the aggro archetype is hard to beat because it puts pressure on you, and you have to respond. You have to be able to stave off the pressure. And one advantage of aggro is it's usually low to the ground, which means that their stuff's cheap. And if the opposing player stumbles at all, they can just get ran over. And, like some of our opponents were down on life. They had Cities of Brass and stuff like that. So it gets dicey when your life total gets low and you're facing down the curve out aggro deck. So. But yeah, no, this deck ended up being better than I thought. So it proved itself through some tough times, which I appreciated, and got one easy win there. So that was good. All right, so yeah, this will be our first foray here into the format. So look for more content coming up, and hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.